Operation Flintlock, the battle that broke Japan's Pacific defense. In 1944, the Pacific Ocean became the stage for one of the most decisive turning points of World War II. A tiny ring of islands, barely visible on most maps, would change the course of the war. This was the Battle of Kwajalein. Kwajalein Atoll sat at the heart of Japan's outer defensive perimeter. From here, Japanese forces could control air and sea routes across the central Pacific. For the United States, taking Kwajalein wasn't optional. The operation was code-named Flintlock, and it began with overwhelming force. On January 29, 1944, American battleships, cruisers, and carrier aircraft unleashed a relentless bombardment. For days, the islands were hammered from sea and sky. Unlike earlier island battles, the U.S. military had learned from painful experience. Smaller islands around Kwajalein were captured first, Japanese supply lines were cut, and defenders were isolated before the main assault. When U.S. Marines and Army troops finally hit the beaches, they advanced behind tanks, flamethrowers, and constant air support. The Japanese defenders fought to the last, launching desperate counterattacks from bunkers and trenches. The fighting was brutal and close quarters, but the outcome was no longer in doubt. American firepower and coordination overwhelmed a force that had been ordered to never surrender. By February 3, Kwajalein Atoll was secure. Nearly the entire Japanese garrison had been destroyed. For the first time, a major Japanese-held atoll had fallen faster and with fewer American casualties than expected. Kwajalein proved that Japan's island defenses were not invincible. Operation Flintlock shattered the myth of an impenetrable Pacific perimeter and opened the path toward the Mariana Islands, and eventually, the Japanese homeland. The Battle of Kwajalein wasn't just a victory. It was a warning to Japan and a turning point that reshaped the war in the Pacific forever. If you want more stories from the Pacific War, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.